What is the first thing you look for when getting a game? It's probably something like the gameplay or the story. Well, for me, one of the first things that I look for is the music in the game. Music in games is more important than people make it out to be. We'll talk about how it can tell a story, change the atmosphere, make you feel certain ways, and also some examples of games that show how to and not to do music in games. But remember that I don't really know much about music theory, so if you were looking for a video that goes in depth on how music is structured and all that crap, this is not the place. I'm simply talking about my experience. Okay, with that out of the way, let's start this video off with a game that I think does music in a good way. The game is Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. This game you may know from some memes, but other than that, it isn't as well known as other games on this list, and that's mainly because it was published in 2013. Even though it is this old, the soundtrack, mainly the songs from the bosses, are phenomenal. The game manages to somehow be super badass. Goofy at the same time.
Oh God, thank you! Don't let those fuckers get away with this, okay? Thank you so much!
Really, Raiden?
Here's an example. So there's this boss that says this.
Means the DNA of the soul.
And then the fight is like this. Okay, here's another example. The boss says this.
Like the good old days after 9/11.
And the fight is like this.
I'll split you in two.
And then at the end you get to chop them all into pieces. One thing that takes this game's music to another level is how the lyrics and everything all kick in right at the climax of the fight, which makes you feel so much more like a badass. This game isn't the only game that tries adding dynamic soundtracks like this, but I think that this game pulls it off more seamless than other games. The game isn't very long and you don't get to see much of the villains until the final battle with them, which makes it so that there's nearly no time to get to know them. The game developer's genius solution to this problem was to add their goodies into the lyrics. If you listen to the track again, but this time try to focus on the lyrics, you'll get to know the character. I also think it's amazing that this game has lyrics in the music at all, because I feel like music in games sound like they're only there for the atmosphere, which is good at times, but I would like to see games try to put their music more in the player's face and make it a key part of the game. Okay, next game please. What? You want me to rate them? Fine, this game gets a 9 out of 10 in the official Curb music rating system for games, or the Optimus GIF for short. You know how I said that games don't need to have lyrics in the game? Yeah, just take a look at this game and you will know exactly what I mean. You know what? I was gonna tell you what the game was before letting you hear the music, but I think the track kind of speaks for itself. So here we go.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.
Bravo, bravo. Oh, yeah, so the game is Doom, if you couldn't tell. If you think you couldn't feel more badass than when you were playing Metal Gear Rising, then here's the proof that that is not the case. The Doom soundtrack blasts you with everything it's got and never stops. And the gameplay manages to keep up with it, which is very important in games, and especially when the music is this bold. I mean, the OST doesn't just go into any game. I recently saw a video on how they made the soundtrack for the game, and it turns out they have a freaking choir of metal singers, and one of them is a Mongolian throat singer. Yeah, I dare you to name another game that has that in its OST. On the Okamazguf, this game gets a 8 out of 10. Because Metal Gear Rising is better. Okay then, a bad game to spice things up. The bad game is Yoshi's Island. Yeah, Yoshi's Island. I couldn't really come up with a bad game. So I just googled what game has bad music. And this came up. Now you might be wondering what cruel thing this game has done to me. And all I have to say is, take a listen. Yeah, so first of all, I'm not Baby Mario. And second of all, why is it so goofy? No, tell me, why is it so goofy? This is the type of stuff I would hear in like a TikTok goofy edit. It sounds awkward and bad. And unlike the other soundtrack, it won't get my attention because it's good. You know what? I'm done with this thing. I'm not giving these games no ranking, no score, and certainly no place on a tier list. So the next game is Undertale. I think this game just generally has amazing music. Nothing too noteworthy, except if you would ask one of those guys. I do feel like this game does manage to have an old-timey sound like Mario, for example, and it still sounds modern. I don't really know what I wanted to say when I put this game on the list, so let's just move on. You also know how I said that games use their music too much just for the atmosphere? Well, Elden Ring is a game that doesn't do that, and it knows when the music grab more or less of your attention. Let's just for example say that you're playing the game, just riding your horse around, then the music just tries to fit in with the area you're in to make everything else more immersive. Then let's say on your horse you stumble upon some enemies. Well, then the music gets a bit more intense to, you know, hype you up and make the situation feel more like a threat. Okay, let's say after you've defeated these enemies, you jump back on your horse and then you go to see the boss. This is when the game gives you the main course with the most intense and epic music it's got, while still sticking to the game's theme and atmosphere, which makes the fight feel super big, like it's this ultimate battle, especially when you just had a little talk with the guy before fighting. But in reality, the OST is nothing too special, and of course the game changes the music based on what's going on. I mean, that's just a fundamental of sound design in games. There's no way a game of this size wouldn't do that, right? Yeah, so Minecraft. I mean, it was obvious that there was gonna be a game that doesn't do this, based on the setup. But Minecraft? One of the most sold video games of all time? Okay, let's just look at what it sounds like in-game. The music is actually kinda good, and it fits in really well, I think. Okay, let's go to a different place and see how the music is there. Oh, why hasn't the music changed? Yeah, so the problem isn't that the music itself is bad, but rather that doesn't always fit in with the game. Like how we talked about how Elden Ring's music changes based on your surroundings. Yeah, Minecraft doesn't do that. Rather it plays the same kinda calm music nearly everywhere you go. Even the final boss doesn't have anything. Oh, I've been working for so long to finally beat this game, and this will be my final battle. Here goes nothing. The game is just inconsistent and makes it so that sometimes you get this. And then sometimes you get this. It's sad that they did the game's music dirty like this, especially when there's another kinda similar game that does this how you would expect it to work. Yeah, the game is Terraria. Oh, hey, would you look at that? The music changes when you go into another biome. Whoa, that's crazy, the boss has music? Oh my god, no. You get the point. And I can see that you're getting bored, so let's just move on to another topic. But speaking of Terraria, I just wanted to throw this in there. The music from the mods in this game is really good. I mean, better than vanilla game good. Just take a listen real quick. Yeah, I said quick. I don't have time for this anymore, okay? When you're talking about music in games, you can't just skip over the whole genre of games that wouldn't work without the music. And that is, yeah, riffing games. But to be honest, I don't really know what to say, because I don't really play riffing games that much, mainly because most of them are just anime BS, like Osu for example. Please don't get offended for that, I love you, ma. The only riffing game I ever really played is Beat Saber, and yeah, it's cool and really fun to mod actually. But hey, there isn't much else for me to say with the knowledge that I currently have. And wait, it looks like you forgot that you can subscribe, so take a quick look down there just for me. Okay, good.